Hi, welcome to CoreJava tutorial. So today in this class we are going to discuss a keyword called this. Okay, so in Java there is a keyword called this. So this is a keyword using which we can assign or we can differentiate the name of the variables and name of the parameters. So before exactly explaining this concept, let me take a program. So let us take a class A, and here inside this class, so I took two variables, so x and y. So here I have created a parameterized constructor, so which is going to accept int x and int y as a parameter. So if you observe this, so here, so I am trying to see, I have created two variables x and y, and here I have defined a parameterized constructor, so that is the constructor which is going to accept in two integers as an argument, and here the name of the parameters is also x and y. That means names of the instance variables and names of the parameters inside a constructor is equal. So now what I am trying to do is, see, I am creating an object of a class by passing the values 100 and 200, and my intention is I want to assign this 100 and 200 to this particular variables x and y. So that is the reason, so I'm just passing these particular values at the time of creating object of a class. So whenever this particular line has been executed, okay, whenever this particular line has been executed, the JVM will pass the values 100 and 200 to the variables x and y. Here I am trying to assign this x to this x and this y to this particular y. So now my intention is, so I need to assign these two values to the x and y, and I am just printing the values of x and y over here, right? So now let me save the program and come here and compile the program. So java c space a.java, see there is no compilation error, and java space, see here, whenever I try to execute this program, it is printing x equal to 0 and y equal to 0, but we are passing the values 100 and 200, but these values, whatever we are passing from here to here, these values are not getting assigned to these variables x and y. So now what I need to do in this program to assign the value 100 to x and 200 to this y. That means whenever, that means how can I differentiate this? See, because the JVM is not able to differentiate what this x is, what this x is, right? That is the reason it has printed x equal to 0 and y equals to 0. Otherwise it would have print x equal to 100 and y equals to 200, right? So that means the JVM is not able to differentiate what this x is and what this y is, and what this x is and what this x is, right? So to differentiate, that means whenever you define a constructors, a parameterized constructors, or whenever the names of the parameters inside a constructor is equals to the name of the instance variables, then at the time of instantiating the instance variables with the names of the parameters, then to differentiate these two variables we have to use this keyword. Okay, so this dot x and this dot y. Okay, that means what? Whenever the names of the parameters of a constructors are equals to the names of a instance variables, then we have to use this keyword to differentiate what, I mean, which variable belongs to which one. That means if you write a program like this dot x, so this dot x, so using this keyword we are differentiating. So this dot x indicates this x, and this dot y indicates this y, and this x equals to this one, and this y is the parameter of a constructor. Okay, so there are two uses of this keyword. So the first one is, using this keyword we can differentiate the names of the parameters of, the names of a parameters of a constructor and names of a instance variables. Okay, and the second one is, so this is like this. So okay, fine. So before exactly going to discuss the second use of this keyword, so let me save this program and come here and compile the program. Now see, so there is no compilation error, and execute the program. See, now it is x equals to 100 and y equals to 200. So now here, using this keyword we can differentiate the instance members of a class and names of the parameters of a constructor, right? That means whenever the names of a parameters of a constructors are equal to the names of instance variables, then to differentiate both, we have to use this keyword. So that is the first use of this keyword. So next the next use of this keyword is, so let us have one more constructor like this. So now I have created one more constructor, so which is going to accept string as an argument, string yes. Okay, so now here what I will do is, I am trying to call this particular constructor. See, let us say, before exactly going to discuss one more use of this keyword, let me take one more function 2 here inside this function 2. So what I will do is system.out.println. so let us define one system.out.println statement which says that which function it is. Okay, save this particular program and come here and compile the program and execute the program. So let us see, is there any compilation error and or not. So there is no compilation error, and even there is no runtime error also. Now what I'll do is, if I want to call one function within another function, simply I can call like this. So here function 2. Okay, so save the program and come here and compile the program. So java c space yes. See, there is no compilation error, and now when I try to execute this, see, this is function 1, then this is function. See, we are calling the a.function1. Whenever the controls comes here, the control will jump from here to here and it will execute this particular statement. Then it will call this function, and here the control will enter here. Then whenever this total function will get executed, the control will return to the calling place of this particular function. That means, so the calling place of the function 2 is function 1. The control will return from here to here, and again here there is no more statements here. The control again return to the calling place of this particular function 1. So since the function 1's calling place is this particular main function, so the control will return from here to here, and it will proceed with the further execution. Okay, so now if you observe this program, so if you want to call one function within another function, then obviously we have simply specified the name of the function followed by the corresponding arguments. So since it is a zero argument function, we have specified this like this. Now I have defined two constructors here. I want to execute one constructor from another constructor. So then how can I do that? So now if you want to call, see, I will print one statement over here in the single in this constructor, saying that, so the constructor which is going to accept string as an argument. Okay, so here string. Okay, now I will save this and I will come here, and what I will do is I will create one more object, a1 equals to new a. Okay, so here a, and let me save the program and come here and compile the program. Sorry, here you need to pass some value, so some message. Okay, so here I had passed this, save this and come here and compile the program. See, there is no compilation error, and execute the program, it will get execute fine. See, whenever the controls comes here, the control has, the JVM has executed this particular constructor. Okay, fine. So now I want to call this particular constructor from this constructor. So what will I do? So what I will do is, I will simply call a of some by passing two values, 23 and 24. So let me save the program. Okay, and come here and compile the program. So java c space, see, it is not allowing us to compile the program. Okay, so it is clearly saying that, see the error, it is clearly saying that cannot find symbol a. So it is clearly saying that it is not able to find the symbol a, though the symbol has been specified over here. That means this is not an exact way of calling constructor within another constructor, right? So that means if you want to call a constructor from another constructor, then obviously you have to use a keyword called this. Okay, so you have to use a keyword called this keyword. So here if you use this, so this space and followed by the corresponding arguments. So which constructor you are trying to call? So the constructor which is going to accept two integers as an argument. Here you have to provide two integers like this. So save the program and come here. Okay, now here you just, to make sure that whether this has been called or not, so you make sure that a statement which is going to print int and int. Okay, save the program and come here and compile the program. Java c space, see, there is no compilation error, and execute the program. Okay, java space a, see here, whenever you try to execute this, whenever the JVM tries to execute this particular statement, so the control came from here to here. Okay, and it has called the constructor which is going to accept two integers as an argument. That means the control came here. Okay, and it has assigned the value 23 to this x and 45 to this y, and it has printed this particular statement. So you can see that, so this statement has printed first, then it has printed, since this particular entire constructor got executed, the control will return to the calling place of this constructor. Since the calling place is this, it will come here, the control came here, and it has executed the next statement, and so that is the reason we are able to see the output over here, a, which is going to accept string. So then the control return to the calling place. So from here to here, and here there is no more statements over here to execute. The termination of the program took place, right? So now if you print the values here, system.out.println, okay, system.out.println I equals to, okay, I equals to, otherwise I colon, okay, plus I, okay. So the next one is I colon, sorry, next one is the value of j, see here, j, okay. Save the program and come here and compile the program. See, I just printed the value of I and j over here to ensure whether the values which we are passing from, from this particular constructor to this constructor, or those values has been passed or not. So in case if they have already, in case they have been passed, then obviously these values should be assigned to this x and y, right? So that means here we need to print, sorry, it must be x, okay, x, and this is also x, and this is y, and this is y. I'm just trying to print the values y and x, that's it. So come here and compile the program, and there will be no compilation error, and execute the program. See the execution criteria. So the first statement, the first output is int, a constructor which is going to accept int and two arguments which are of type both integers, right? So that means whenever you execute, see the execution of a program takes place from the main function. So the control came here, it has passed 100 and 200 to this x and y. So the 100 has been assigned to this x and y has been assigned to this y, and here we are able to print x and y. So this, see, the local variables, the parameters of a function or a parameters of a constructor will act as a local variables of a function or a constructor. Here what I will do is I will print this dot x, okay. So here I will print this dot x, that means this we are trying to print this x, and here this dot y, okay. Save the program and come here and compile the program and execute the program again. Java C space this, and here Java space this. Now you analyze the output, okay, the same output. So now if you analyze the program, so the control came here and it has executed this particular line. So here 100 and 200 has been passed to this x and y, and this x and y has been assigned to this x and y. So here it has printed this line, so nothing but this line, and then it has printed the value of x, and it has printed the value of y, that is 200 and 200. So the next statement is, here we are printing the same again here, the a.x and a.y. That is the reason we are able to see the two values here. That means this one, okay. So these two values. So the next one is we are trying to call function 1. So that means this one. So this is function 1. That means whenever the control will come from here to this function 1, and here it has printed this line, and the control called this particular function 2, and it has executed this line, and that is the reason we are able to see the values, the two outputs. This is function 1 and function 2. Next we are trying to we are trying to call a constructor which is going to accept string as an argument. So here if you consider this particular constructor, this string has been passed to this, and here we are calling one more constructor. See here, using this keyword we are calling this constructor. So here we are passing 23 and 45. That means 23 and 45 has been assigned to x and y, and the 45, the corresponding values has been assigned to this x and this y, and then we are printing this one again, and here is the values of x, y, z. So here, see here, so this is x equals to 23, y equals to 45. Then the control return from here to here, and it has executed this one, and the control come return from here to here, and the termination of the program takes place. That means here by with this program, so we understood that there are two uses of this keyword. So the first one is, using this keyword we can initialize the instance variables of a function. That means using this keyword there are two uses. The first use is, if the constructor of a class if the parameter is constructor, if the names of the parameters of a constructors. Names of a parameters of a constructor are equal to the names of instance variables. Then to differentiate both the variables, then we have to go for using a this operator. That is the first use. And the second use of this operator is, if you want to call one constructor from another constructor, you have to use a this keyword followed by the corresponding arguments. Okay, and the one more rule is that, so what I will do is, I will simply move this line from here to this one, the next line. Okay, save the program and come here and compile the program. See, now it will throw a compilation error saying that call to this must be first statement in a constructor. That means whenever you try to call one constructor within another constructor using a this keyword, so that this keyword must be a first statement inside a constructor. Okay, so if you want to call one constructor from another constructor, the calling statement must be a first statement. Okay, so this is the one rule which you need to keep in mind. Okay, so here in this class we have discussed what is a this keyword, how many uses of this keyword, and one rule related to this keyword. That means this keyword which is going to call one constructor from another constructor must be always a first statement of a constructor. It should not be a second statement or third statement of a constructor. Okay, so in the next classes, so we are going to discuss a concept called inheritance and interfaces, exception handling. So this keyword plays a very much important role, okay, at the time of calling one constructor from another constructor. Okay, so thank you for watching.